My event was the Broncos Patriots game on Sunday. Um, a lot of the storylines coming into this event were um, the recent rivalry between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, whether that would hold up or whether it would just be a blowout. Um, Another storyline was Rob Gronkowski versus his brother Chris. They haven't played together since they were together in New England. Um, Another storyline was how the stats held up. What quarterback was better than what quarterback? Um, how the offense differed. I mean, Patriot has the number one um, leading offense in the league, and the Broncos don't. But what the Broncos do have going for them is their defense, whether their defense can hold up during the game. Um, that was also looked at in the storylines. How did the announcers connect with the audience? I felt as though they connected as fans themselves. Um, they would say different things as if they were a fan. Um, they made different arguments as though they had their own opinion, but they kept it to themselves. Um, every time somebody would score, they would have like a raise in their voice. You could kind of hear the excitement going on at the game. Um, so all those things are different things that make me to feel a connection with the announcers. Um, a lot of the storylines I heard developing during the game was it had to be the RG3 injury. I heard a lot of injury reports from that game. Um, I think they had a lot of injury reports from that game, being as though our game wasn't nearly as fun. I mean, second half we were coming up, I think, 10, 15 points ahead of Denver. Um, so, yeah, I mean, with a knockout like that, I doubt they would have any kind of interest in what kind of storylines are going on there in New England. Instead of the important things like RG3 getting injured, I mean, a rookie coming back, um, getting knocked out, had to sit the rest of the game out with a head injury. Um, yeah, so what was the real reaction time and commentary and social media? I followed different things like on Twitter. I followed ESPN Boston, um, the NFL. I followed. I also followed the Patriots and different people in their organization. So I'd get different tweets about the game going on. Um, I added a group on my Facebook page. It was called the NFL Patriots page, where fans would go on and talk about the game, usually during the intermissions or halftime. Um, After the game, I watched a little ESPN. They talked mostly about the stats going on, how great Tom Brady did, how good the offense showed up on the Patriots, and really mostly about how the Broncos defense did not show up that game. Because that was the deciding factor whether they would win or not, is their defense. How the reaction time mattered in social media. I would get a 2-minute or 10-minute update on ESPN Score Center telling me the scores or intermission reports, the stats, um, basically anything. Um, and that's how social media is in real time. My general observations on the event as it relates to what we've learned in class is if you don't have a personality, I'm not going to watch your game. The announcers really did put out a personality to make the game more interesting for me. They wouldn't just tell stats. They would tell more. They would tell what's going on in different games, who's injured, the storylines leading up into the games, the storylines leading out of the game, different things like that to make it interesting. It's not just a one-on-one with stats. It's one-on-one with a fan-based commentator. Yeah, commentator. Anything like that is just there to make the game interesting. The personalities. I watched NFL Primetime before the game. They work excellent as a group. They're all great as individuals, but what really matters is a group of people that are not just going to fight over something, or like there are going to be differences and disagreements, but you're going to have to agree on some stuff, or else it's just going to put the show down. So that group of people worked great as a team. So did CBS. I watched a lot of CBS. Let's see. NBC has a great group of people there. As for the radio, I did have to listen to the radio because I was in between games. The radio personality is what makes it the most. I was never one to listen to the radio, but if you have a great personality on that radio, you're going to be more welcome to listen to it. And that is how the event related to what we've learned in class. The personalities, that's what makes it the best to listen to.